Now, to my guy Bolo, if you want to call in, bro, give me just a second. And if anybody wants to call in, just let me know that you emailed me, and I will send you the call in number. And I really want it only take about no more than 30 minutes, 15 minutes to maybe 30 minutes total. But the line is open. If you already have the number, feel free to call in if you want to talk about this subject. Please don't call in like some folks do and just get to talking about a bunch of random stuff. I want to make sure that we streamline our thought process on this thing here. So if you want to call in, let one of the moderators in the chat know, get my attention, just tag my name, I'll see it. But I've got the line open if you want to call in, Bolo or anybody else. If you don't have the number, then I will email it to you. While we're waiting on that, let me go ahead and say thank you real quick to a couple of people. Peach Cutie Pie, if you're listening, Peach Cutie Pie, are you still there? I want to say thank you very much. And she hooked us up on the PayPal side, hit us up with 20. So shout out to Peach Cutie Pie, an amazing supporter. I want to thank you very much. I want to also say thank you to JC. Excuse me, I said JC. Jazz C137 in the chat. Let me see. You're the only one who says my username the right way. Keep doing what you're doing. These kids need a voice. Thank you for speaking on their behalf. Ooh, man, that ringer is loud, but I can't change the ringer. Hold on just a second, Bolo. Hold on. Let me also say thank you to my guy, Mark Adams. Mark Adams, if you're listening, thank you very much. As well as we had 3 people who donated on Cash App, which is Rosa Becton hit us up with $2. Cupcake hit us up with $5 in Cash App. And my guy Bolo, who's on the phone with us right now, said $2 for representing the kids. God's work. Thank you very much, bro. How are you doing, Bolo?
I'm good, man. Thank you for asking. How's the fam? How you doing?
I'm doing okay, man. I don't know if you saw the beginning of the stream, but I had to take some more.
I saw it.
I had to take some more of that BC. try to kill out the rest of these headaches, man. It could just be the summertime weather. I don't know, but I'm trying my best to try to get through it. But brother, you had the floor, man. What you want to say or what you want to do?
All right, bro. I guess, Lord God, we ask you to please grant us the strength to stay strong in time of weakness. Brother Just Jay said a lot tonight, Lord, and I think our focus need to be on the parents, on the adult men, the adult women, and making better choices and bringing these children that are innocent into these situations that they need not be in. Lord, we beg you to please give these men and women better understanding, not just knowledge and wisdom, but understanding that they know that they may not be ready for a child and that they not have children. And if they do have children, give the children up for adoption or give the children to parents or to people that would love to have children and raise them in a beautiful, loving environment, a God-filled environment. Lord God, most of all, we ask you to please protect your children. Please encamp your angels around us and help us always to strive to do better. Help us to do better and be better. In Jesus' name I pray, man. Just Jay, thanks, man. You're doing a beautiful job. Thank you for representing the children. And God bless you and your daughter, man.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. How you doing yourself, bro? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right, man. Basically you hit it you hit the nail on the head when you said that we're bringing these kids into situations that they need not be in. And, us as men, and we need to start to step up and put ourselves in the position that the Lord put us, that we were supposed to be in.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to be the protectors, the guiders, the leaders, and the providers. And we need to start fulfilling those aspects of what we need to start doing. Because we need to understand this feminist movement is a systemic attack on the persona of what men are put here to do.
Oh, agreed. And, yes.
And women need to understand that when you start to fall into that line of thinking, you're destroying the fabric of the household.
Mm-hmm.
You're destroying the home. And we need to understand that we're created equally, right? But our perspectives and what we're put on this earth is different. Men are here to be leaders, the head of the household, And women are here to be the facilitators, like you said so eloquently. And, we need to start to get back to the fabric of what the home was made for, what the family nucleus was made for. We're leaving that, man. And that's where all the confusion is coming from. We're leaving that.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to start to get back to, the fundamentals, man. All that other nonsense that cats is trying to concentrate on, we got to go back to the fundamentals. And that's what you and Tommy are kicking, and that's what we need to kick, man. So
let me ask you this now that I got you on the line, because I could really get anybody's perspective on this, but I'm kind of curious about what you think about this, because I've said it a few times and I don't really know how well it resonates with people or not. But I've always said that I feel like, the pro-black mentality, when they're talking about like the things that are causing us to be this way, have to do with white supremacy and this and that and such and such. And I always point out to them and I show them that, the world is a lot simpler than what we make it. We make this thing too complicated to make it seem like it's just this big old huge conspiracy against us. And most of it, really, we're just doing it to ourselves. And the fact that everything starts with consent. And we have to consent for all of these things, and that consent normally starts at home. Like, do you feel like I'm wrong for what I'm saying? Am I just missing something? Because I noticed that these pro-blacks get a ton of support, and they call us coons, because of our, I think they call us that stuff because they really can't challenge anything that we're saying based on what's actually factual. I've actually seen, I don't want to call no names out, but I've seen people get called out on the things that they're saying and they don't have a response. Like, they either laugh at it or they'll cuss you out over it, but they don't have an intelligent response to debate anything that we're saying. I don't think the world is as complicated as they make it.
No, it's not, man. The world is very simple. That's why when you read the scriptures, the Lord talks to us like children. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not do this. He's talking to you very simply. And, for the first part of your question, the hardest person to correct is yourself. Once you realize that you're the problem, the next step is correcting it, becoming the solution. And that's the hard thing. It's easy to say, Jay made me do it. It was Jay's fault. It's harder for a person to sit there and go, what was my part in the situation that contributed to me and Just Jay arguing? Because it wasn't just him. That's our problem. And in the black and Hispanic community, we're so used to pointing the finger. Okay, yeah, it was a big issue bringing us here in slavery. Get it. But the white man ain't putting that crack in your pocket and selling it to that pregnant woman. It's not the white man. That's you. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It's not the white man that's putting the gun in your hand and shooting your brother. That's you. It's not the white man that's making that woman at the son's graduation dance and twerk like an idiot. That's you.
Mm-hmm. And again, we're talking about how we're representing ourselves. And they always look at it and say there's nothing wrong with this. But when people look at us and they say, we're going to take this collective of things that we've seen you do, 300 or 400 videos, and be like, this is what a lot of you do. And you'd be like, that's not how we are. But I'm like, wait a minute. But don't your actions speak louder than your words?
Of course, man.
I thought that's the way it was supposed to work.
I tell people this all the time, that when you're in shit, everything smells like shit. So, in the example, let's understand, right, that we need to know that when you go to a boxing match, the best view is the audience. So when you have these people looking at us like we're animals, how do you expect them to treat us?
Very good point.
We need to understand, that all of the ingredients to make this pizza pie is in front of us. So now we need to take the instructions, the Bible, the Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth, and apply it. It works. It's not hard, man. It works. If you put your hand in fire, you're going to get burned. It's not hard. So if you don't understand the fundamentals in being a man, if you have no man around, and you don't know what the fundamentals in being a man, it's not just, being able to sling cock and have sex with a woman. There's more to being a man than that. There's emotionally, mentally, spiritually. The physical part, I don't think you need to teach anybody that. But when these men go out there and they don't know what they're looking for in a woman. They don't know what the definition of a woman, because if their mother is ratchet, that's the example that they're going to measure all women by. It's the same thing. Your daughter has a good father. So subliminally and subconsciously, she's going to measure all men to your example. Mm-hmm. You're the first man she fell in love with, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? The first woman that a boy falls in love with is his mother. And subconsciously, he's going to measure all women against that. So if she's ratchet, that's what he's going to go by. These behaviors are taught, man. We have to teach our children better, be better examples for them. We have to be. That's automatic. And children learn more by watching than you telling them.
Man, I don't know if you've ever really like kind of combed through like my comment section sometimes, like on some of my bigger videos. But
right.
Even some of the more recent ones, like some of those comments are just scary when I can try to make this as plain and black and white as possible and get people like I can say something and do my best to try to explain it in a layman's term in a way that most people could come in not knowing me and can understand what I'm saying. And people will still come in and say things like, "You black brother, how come you down in our people?" And I'm like, what?
They
will look at this story and say, and all they'll hear is that I called her a stripper and a bad mom. I'm like, wait a minute, like, hold on, I ain't heard y'all say nothing about these three. I ain't heard them say nothing about these three babies that was murdered in such a brutal fashion. But yet we gonna focus on the fact that I said something about a woman, a black queen. Right. Like what?
Remember what Tupac said? Even as a black queen mama, a black female, a crack fiend, you always was a black queen.
Tommy
like
said,
they don't say that about the men. That even though you was a deadbeat, you were still a king. They don't say that.
I like that. I like that.
The point of the matter, and Tommy, when we talk about this too, that truth transcends color.
It should, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It does. The problem is black people and Hispanic people like to have emotional conversations instead of logistic and factual conversations. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. See, when you have factual and logistical conversations, like you said, they can't argue with you. So they'll laugh, or they'll find a way to hang up the phone, or they'll find a way to change the subject. Mm-hmm. When you have emotional conversations, you can argue that all day.
That's correct, yes. That's right.
But when you deal with facts, and that's the point, when you look at facts, this dude knew that a stripper is not, I'm not saying all strippers are bad, so let me get that out. But chances are you're not going to get a good stripper to make her wife. And don't get it twisted. She knew what kind of man she had. Mm-hmm. This wasn't something that happened overnight. She has 3 kids with this dude.
That's right.
So she knew he had a short temper. She knew the temperament of her man. But when you don't have aspirations and your world is small and you don't give them the equipment to look for a good man, she thinks that this is the only thing that she can get. She thinks that this is the only thing. It's like when people are brought up in these little hick towns. They think the world isn't big enough. They just think the world is that hick town. When the world is bigger than that, man. So we got to start giving our children the equipment and the tools and the education. And I'm not talking about going to college or whatever. If that's something that they want to do, let them do it. But we have to start teaching them logic and truth so that when they go into this world, they're able to decipher right and wrong.
Hold on, Bolo.
Righteously.
Hold on, Bolo. Jason Gunn, while I'm sitting here staring at this photo that I pressed the pause button on, Jason Gunn called out something that I was thinking.
What's that?
Look at his skin color and look at her skin color and then look at those kids. Ooh.
Wow.
All 3 of those kids are light skinned. She appears to be brown or dark skinned. He appeared like matter of fact, let me go to a different picture on here. And I don't know if you could see this.
But let me say this before you go down that road. We do have you have to understand that we have a dominant gene and white people have recessive. You cannot get dominant from recessive, but you can get recessive from dominant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So don't get caught up into thinking that just because the kids are light, that maybe she had a different baby father. We do have the propensity in our melanin to have two dark-skinned parents and have a lighter child.
Right. Well,
that's an albino.
Well, yes, and I'm just calling this out just to say that, like I get that, and I understand that, but it's just the fact that I'm just throwing it out there as, because you got to remember all of this is pure speculation. Do we know for a fact what they were fighting about? Or do we know for a fact that she was stripping? Because, I mean, that's just something that they've said. Do we know what strip club she was in? Do we have any photos? Do we have a timesheet for her being in this strip club? You know what I'm saying? Do we have some people that can vouch for that? Like, we don't. There's some things that maybe that will come out in court or whatever the case is, but I'm just throwing it out there as a possible motive, just based on what we see and just based on what we think, and also based on what we've seen happen in the past. You kind of see what I'm saying? Because we have seen a lot of situations where men flat out thought that they were the fathers. Like, you remember that story that Tommy talked about earlier today, and he was talking about how that man was in his movie. By the way, if you guys haven't seen Fatherless America, go to fatherlessamerica.com. It's an awesome documentary. Make sure you guys check that out, and also make sure you check out my review if you want to know what the movie was talking about. But in that story, he was talking about how a man ended up killing himself because once him and his wife were getting a divorce, he found out that the kids were not his.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that happens
that's the
a
problem.
lot.
And that's the problem. You know, women think, you know, taught that men don't hurt, men don't cry, men are not sensitive. You know, we're not rocks, man. Mm-hmm. We cry, we hurt just like y'all.
They're actually I think they've actually proven in some studies to say that men are actually more emotional. And I don't think whether they're more or less makes a difference. It's just the fact that we can't sit and be naive and say that men are not emotional. They are very just as emotional as anybody are. Humans are emotional.
We feel the same way. So when you're teaching your child, your man child at 6 years old, you the man of the house. We can't do that, man. Mm-hmm. We got to let kids be children, man. We got to let them have their childhood. Just because you didn't have one, don't mean that you need to, you know, continue the cycle. We need to break the cycle. And bigger than that, you know, we need to start to look in the mirror and say we are the cause for half or most of the things that happen to us.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? When the cops stop you, especially blacks and Hispanics, when the cops, first thing that they do, they want to curse the cop out.
Let me also call this out because I didn't actually do it while I was giving the story out. This is a key indicator. When we said, was he a thug or was he not? I said I wasn't sure, but you know, he does fit the description. And this even further proves it because it says in 2013, he was found in possession and distribution of drugs, which is what he was arrested for. I don't know if he did any jail time for. 3 years later, in 2016, probation violation. So that probably means he did actually do time for that charge.
Yep.
And then in 2018, simple battery domestic violence incident with Spellman. So that actually is a pattern for thug behavior.
It's thug behavior. I remember there was a video that came out where it was a woman driving a car and the baby's father was in the passenger seat and the baby was in the back. And they were giving a whole bunch of stuff with the cop, and the cop wound up breaking the glass or whatever. And they put that video out viral. Mm-hmm. And it went viral. Come to find out, the father of the child had put cocaine in his Pampers. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So what the point that I'm trying to make is, if we want these people to look at us different, we got to change our whole vernacular. We got to change the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we treat each other, the way we move. We have to. We have to do that. You can't expect someone to stop calling you nigga when you use the word nigga.
I agree.
It doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, and I know I hate using that terminology, you know what I'm saying, but that's what this is what it boils down to. Let me use that. Mm-hmm. What it boils down is, like you say all the time, it starts at home. It starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with everybody in AFC world and Soto Nation. It starts with us. Let us be the beacon. Let us start. It starts with us, man. And then hopefully from that, we can put that love into someone in the world, and it just spreads out like that. You guys are doing it, and don't expect everyone to hear you, because when you're kicking simplicity, because what you're saying is 1, 2, 3, ABC, and these cats just don't want to get it. Jay, it ain't for the whole world to get it, bro.
It's
the whole world
it's rough.
are not going to get the truth. Remember, Christ tells you in the scriptures, my sheep hear their name. Yeah. So the people you need to reach, you're reaching them, brother. The people like Tommy need to reach, you're reaching them.
Yeah.
Believe me, you're reaching them. I'm here, brother, and I'm listening. So you reaching them. You got over 100 people in this room listening to you. They could be doing anything else. They choose to be here in the AFC nation. Why? Because this is love, brother. And then those people go out into the world and spread that zone, that spirit. See, it's there, man. It's there.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank you and Tommy for putting this platform, man.
Yeah. Definitely big shout out to Tommy, man. Definitely shout out to Tommy Sotomayor. I also want to shout out Relationship Rehab. And he said, love and support always, bro. I don't know if he's still listening, but shout out to Relationship Rehab. I hope he hears this on the replay if he's not listening right now. But he also donated about.
And you know what's so crazy before I leave? What's so crazy about this, man, is I when I first heard Tommy, and then through relation hearing you, I wasn't gonna start a YouTube channel. Now I'm starting a YouTube channel, man, because at the end of the day, people got to start standing up for truth. That's what the scripture says. Who's going to stand up for truth? You guys are doing it, and it's unfair that it's only you two guys doing it. We got to start standing up, man. We can't allow just you two to do it and get threats and get all this ridicule. We got to start supporting you guys, man. That's our duty. That's our job.
Yeah, I know.
When you start standing up for righteousness, we got to start supporting you.
Yeah, man, I definitely appreciate that. Like, I know I had gotten threatened, I think, like a week or two ago, and man, I was just like, because I don't know what it is about Instagram, but I don't even know how they find my Instagram like that, and why they feel so comfortable knowing that Instagram is mainly comprised of photos, but nonetheless. But I had got threatened by a guy. I'm not going to call his name out or even say which story it came from. But I remember, like, I responded kind of like, in a matter of, if that's what you're going to do, then cool. If not, then understand this is what I was trying to get across. And I kind of wrote out a little message to him. And it seemed like he changed his tune, like, really, really quick. And I'm just like, it's scary to think that, before we think logic, we think like attack. And I'm like, I feel like before you attack anything, you should understand what you're attacking. Like, that should be like some type of understanding that we have when it comes to any type of battle that you get into, whether it just be a verbal battle, a verbal spar, a debate. Like, I think that we should have understanding about anything before we start to just take action against something. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, when these pro-blacks are talking about going to war and this and that and such, like, you don't even have a plan. You just keep attacking and attacking, and people are able to just break you down at every single point. Exactly. Constantly putting your plan out there on the internet. Constantly talking about, this is my plan. I'm like, that's got to be the dumbest thing ever to just keep talking about, this is what my plan is if you're talking about going to war.
But you see what they do, Just Jay, what they do is there's a narrative that they use. Tommy was playing a video about a black chick that was attacking this white guy, right? Mm-hmm. And they use trigger words. And those trigger words, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a black woman and I'm pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
You hate me.
Yeah, I was watching
They use trigger words to get people emotional and away from what the facts are.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's the movement now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That
if you think about it,
factually,
if you think about it, they were more upset about those two things that she said as opposed to the one thing that could have fixed that whole thing, and just realized that they had a what do you call it? They had a not a rule, but like whenever you line up, like they had a standard. Like if you have this
Right.
amount of groceries, then be in this line. If you don't have that amount, if you have
Right.
more, if you exceed that, then go to a different line.
But see, she's sitting there and saying,
It was so
so what?
simple. Right.
So what?
Right. Like
You know what I'm
we
saying?
have a
So,
standard. This is what
it,
makes
it,
our store work good. This is why people love our store.
exactly. Exactly. But see, when you catch them in the emotional, when you catch them with facts, because he was saying you had more than 11 things. 10 things. She said I had 11. When
Mm-hmm.
she went on Instagram, she said she had 15. So Tommy caught her in the lie there. And that's on video. So the point that I'm trying to make is we have to start taking more steps to having factual and logistical conversations and not emotional conversations.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, conversations and relations with everyone else will be a whole lot better. That sets the standard and sets the platform for speaking, because we can get a lot said in a small amount of time than us cursing and screaming at each other, in a lengthy amount of time, and whether you agree with what I'm saying or not, you'll leave with a better understanding of the point that I'm trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole point. The scriptures tell you one man planteth, another man watereth, but it's God that giveth the increase. My job is not to convert you. My job is just to give you just a little bit more clarity than what you had. And then from there, you'll probably get that epiphany and be like, yo, you know what? Bolo was saying such and such. It made sense. Or, you know what Just Jay was saying this, and it made sense. We need to understand we're under Satan's authority, USA. These things are here. They're not done by mistake. They're done by design. So, I know I monopolize a lot of time. Just Jay, thank you for, giving me the platform to pray. And, I hope if you will allow it that I can probably say a prayer every night with you guys if possible. You know what I'm saying? But thank you again, man. I'm going to let it open and hopefully someone can jump on.
All right, it's all good, man. I want to remind you guys that is BOLO TV. If you guys want to subscribe, check out his channel. Just click the 3 dots on his name in the chat. So just type your name in there. If you want to put your link out there, cool. But shout out to BOLO TV. Shout out to The Relationship Rehab, United Guns of America channel, afatherlessamerica.com. Again, that is afatherlessamerica.com. That link is in every one of my videos now going forward. Also, check out DJJustJayOK.com. If you guys are looking like what happened to Tommy's live video, why hadn't Tommy been live? He probably has. And you need to go to his website and subscribe. We pay for anything that we want content from. If you want content from him, then make sure that you support and check out Tommy Sotomayor at TJSKOC.com and afatherlessamerica.com. Don't talk noise about something that you have not seen. Educate yourselves and come to the understanding that we'll do a lot better if we just do a little bit of research. You want to talk about how bad this movie is? Well, why don't you find out what we have already found out and go check out the movie at afatherlessamerica.com. I think it's on Vimeo.com as well as Amazon.com. Order the Blu-ray and DVD. And again, you can find all of that information on his website at TJSKOC.com. This is your boy, DJJustJayOK, man. Thank you guys so much. Let me shout out again, Relationship Rehab, who donated. Thank you to Peach Cutie Pie, who donated. Thank you to, again, Jazz C, 137. Thank you to my brother, Mark Adams. Thank you to one other person who wanted to remain anonymous. I remembered. Want to remain anonymous. Thank you to BOLO TV for calling in. Thank you to, we had 3 people who donated on Cash App, which is Bolo, who donated on Cash App. And we had Rosa Becton, who donated on Cash App. I remembered that off the top of my head. I'm waiting on it to pull up on my phone. And there was one other name here. Hold on, let me see if I can find the name. Come on. To Cupcake. I'm going to just say Cupcake. I'll say that name. But thank you very much. And Billy Goat Gruff, like, I don't know what happened here. I don't know if he did this by accident or if he was being for real, like requested $555 from me. But I'm going to have to decline that. I can't send out $555. I'm going to have to decline that. I would love it if a collective of us would donate that to me. That would be awesome. That would be totally awesome. But you guys do whatever is in your heart, man. Whatever is in your budget. Thank you guys so much, man. And Bolo, I promise you, I need to do it this week, and I will get your other videos up and make sure that you guys are able to hear the voice of my brother Bolo. And I need to get Relationship Rehab on here sometime too, bro. And you know, whenever you got some time, maybe we could do a show together, something like that. I need to get Tommy back on here and get some other folks on here, man. If you guys want to chime in on some of the stuff that we talk about over here. We do okay over here. It's not the biggest platform, but we do okay. We do okay. We're decent. We're consistent. We're consistently about 100 to 200 people. It's not the worst thing in the world. Let me see. Let me close you guys out with... I can close you guys out with either Kurt Dog, Jay French, Calfo, T.G. Williams, Main Ideal, Ice Black and Super J, or my girl Mallory. Shout out to Mallory Rose. Beautiful. Mallory is beautiful. I'm sorry, but damn, she is beautiful. I'm going to tell you guys, man, Mallory pulled up on me at the club I was working at Friday. And me and Mallory, I'm going to let you guys know a little early that we are probably going to collaborate on a project. She has a beautiful voice, and I want to do a song with Mallory, and I think that we're going to put that together. We're going to do an interview if you guys want to see Mallory, so you guys can kind of see her and hear her voice and hear what she's talking about and what she's got going on. So we have an interview scheduled that I hope to stick to that schedule, but I'm going to make sure that you guys see what's cracking with Mallory Rose. So y'all are saying y'all want to hear Kurt Dog Fan Club, Kurt Dog. I got to tell you guys, Kurt Dog is a Southside legend for a reason. Kurt Dog is awesome. And we had two more. Promise, if you are listening to me, dude, we're going to have a talk. Seriously. Bolo hooked us up and he said $2 sent. Thank you, Jay. Hey, Bolo. No, man, I appreciate you, bro. Not only do you send a little something through, man, but you're always supporting, man. So thank you very much. It's my party is the theme song. Are you talking about Kira? It's a party? I could do that. So I'll do Kira, Kurt Dog, and I will do Kira, Kurt Dog, and Mallory. So we'll do it like that. Never. Oh, you never heard of them? No, they're local. These are all local artists out of Oklahoma. Just to let you guys know. All I have ever done is played Oklahoma music. So I'm going to get through these songs real quick. I'm going to kind of cut them in the middle so y'all can hear all three. And I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys so much. So we're going to do Kira, which is Nitro's daughter. Then we're going to do Kurt Dog. We'll do 2 songs from Kurt Dog. And then we'll do Mallory Rose and we'll close out. All out of Oklahoma. That's all I do is play Oklahoma music. Unless some artists get in touch with me personally and I might show a little love. But other than that, I always try to represent for Oklahoma, you know. Showing love. Guys, have a great night, man. Peace.